So this video is titled Why You Currently Don't Book in Sales Calls and Actually How to Do It. And to give some context to this as well, so early this year, I ran a cold outbound campaign, and it's just one of many, by the way. We contacted 1,000 leads, had 250 replies, 150 positive replies, close enough, and we booked about 135 calls from just one campaign of 1,000 leads. Now, we've done this multiple times now, so I feel very comfortable speaking on this topic. And I was just on a call with a client, and I just walked through this framework of the way we think through things. And whilst it's fresh in my mind, I thought I'll just jump on here and record it for you guys as well, so you guys can get some value from it. And so I just want to break down the frameworks of what we need to think through when it comes down to the client acquisition side of the business. This will probably be a little bit different from things that you might have heard before. I'm going to keep it quite top level. I'm not going to go into scripts and like this, that, and the other, because firstly, I'm not going to just give scripts that work for myself, right? It'd be a little bit weird. I'm not trying to sell a course or anything. The second thing as well is what works for me doesn't always mean it'll work for you and your ideal customer profile. So that's also very important. And a lot of people, if you learn the foundations and the frameworks, you can just apply it to your business. Then you've learned the skill of applying it to your business, and then you know how to do it for future things as well. Scripts don't allow you to do that. So that's the reason why I'm not giving that out in this video, but I will just break down the frameworks and everything. So the first two things I want to go through before I go through the actual framework is really the 2 golden rules of sales. And this is nothing new. This is something everyone really knows, but I thought I'll put it down now so we can revisit it a little bit later. So the first one is that people hate being sold to. Hate being sold to. By the way, excuse my handwriting. I'm just going to write really quickly. But people hate being sold to, right? And so when you outreach to someone, you message someone saying, I do this. Are you interested? Yes or no? Do you want to buy? People just turn off, right? People just hate being sold to, especially now where there's so many cold outbound agencies or so many people just trying to get your attention all the time or your prospects' attention all the time. They're constantly in an environment getting sold to all the time. So they just instinctively just block it out now. It's like, no, not interested, blah, blah, blah. Even though they've not really heard you out. You've not been able to put across the actual solution you have to the problem that they're having because they just block it out straight away. It's like, just no, no, no. And so that's the first kind of golden rule, is people hate being sold to. The second one is that trust and authority is how you sell, right? People don't buy from people they don't trust, and they don't buy from people that have no authority in the subject matter that you're talking about. So trust and authority is super important when it comes to sales. And so I'm going to revisit these 2 things at the end of this video as well and tie it all back to this so you can understand. So now let's jump into the frameworks. So firstly, what I want to do, just to help you visualize this, is talk about your buying journey, right? The customer journey itself. So let's say this is a road here. At the very end, we have our conversion point. So this is where they've sold and they become a client and a customer. And at here is the start, right? Now, the way a lot of people look at this in terms of their buying journey is they focus on people right at this point here. People that they're very aware of the problem they have, they're very aware of the solutions that's there, and they'll just target that side of the market, right? The people at the very end of the journey itself. Now, the issue you have with that is that people on their buying journey, there are all stages of their buying journey. Now, as someone progresses along like their buying journey itself, there's 2 things that are happening. They're becoming more problem aware and more solution aware. Right? So those are 2 things that are happening, problem aware and solution aware. And these are 2 very important principles as well, which we'll keep going back to in this video on top of everything else. So what I mean by this, and let me just visualize this in another way, which might make a little bit more sense overall when we talk about the market, is this is something called the wider buyer market theory. So this was, I don't know who it was coined by, but I was taught this by my good friend Ali, who's an absolute wizard at marketing, a couple of years ago. I think he learned it from Sell Like Crazy, which is a really good book, and I don't know whoever invented this kind of framework, but it does ring to be true, to be honest with you. And I'm going to talk you through what this actually is in a moment. So overall, this triangle represents 100% of our market, and not just like the entire world. I'm talking about like our ideal customer profile, right? So ICP. This represents all of our ICPs within this triangle. Now at the very top here, right, we have 3% of the market. So 3% of the market are ready to buy. And what ready to buy means is that they're at this point here, right? At the very end of their buying journey, they're ready to buy, which means, tying into problem aware and solution aware, is that they're both problem aware and solution aware. And if they're at the very end of here, you would hope that they understand that you are the solution. You are the solution. So that's the very end of the buying journey itself, but that's only 3% of the entire market, right? And now we have people maybe slightly further back on their actual journey. So we have people here. And so this is about 17% of the market. And again, these percentages, of course, it's a framework. It's not going to be exact percentages the whole time, but it does make sense when you kind of explain it all. But anyways, people here are in information gathering mode. All right, so what this means, to break it down, is that, again, they're both problem aware, they're both solution aware, but they don't know that you're the solution yet, right? So they're in information gathering mode, trying to find the best solution for them. Okay, so P aware and solution aware, but still trying to, work it out. Again, apologies for my handwriting. I'm just trying to do this as quick as I can. And then here we have one more tier down. This is 20% of the market. And these people, okay, they're problem aware, but not solution aware. Okay? They're not solution aware. So they understand they have a problem in their business, but they're not aware of all the solutions that's possible to them to fix the problem that they're having. And at the very bottom of here is a majority of the market, right? We have 60% of the market that not problem aware and not solution aware. Okay, they don't know they have this problem in their business, or they don't understand that, the things that they're seeing in their business that maybe isn't making sense to them and what they don't want. They haven't identified the actual problem or the cause of it yet. And of course, if you don't know the problem, you don't know the solutions, which is why they're not solution aware as well. Now, the reason why I'm talking through this is because the reason why your outbound isn't working, you're not booking client meetings or anything like that, is because, and majority of businesses do this, is all of their messaging is only targeting 3% of their market. They're only targeting the 3% of the market that understand the exact problem that they have, the exact solution that they're looking for, and that you're saying that, oh, I'm the solution to your problem. The issue with this is if they're at the very end of their buying journey, this is where all your competitors are, right? They've already gone out, they already know the solutions, so you're competing with all your competitors in total, which means that your conversion rate will naturally be very, very low. Okay, low conversion rate. Now, in some cases, targeting that upper, end of the buying journey makes sense, right? If you're on lower ticket service-based businesses or just selling something lower ticket, for example, like a $10 monthly subscription or whatever it's going to be, then it makes sense to maybe target, as high of this pyramid as you can, because of the fact that, you don't have the time to spend nurturing and moving people along the buying journey, or to visualize it better, like moving people along this journey, right? Because this takes time and effort to do this, right? So if you sell low ticket, you don't really have the resources to put into the time and effort it takes to move them along that buying journey. Now, if you target these two, then realistically you do something like lead magnets. So a lot of people know what lead magnets are, you hear it all the time, but I want to give you what I think a lead magnet is. And again, I've made a lot of mistakes when it comes to this, but it's something that I've refined over the last kind of few months and year, and it works quite well. So what is a lead magnet, right? So a lead magnet is something, there's really two things, right? So firstly, it's something of value that you can send to your potential lead customer and client, whatever. And I'm going to talk through what I believe value to be in a moment. So you've got value. And then we also have, it has to be worth something, right? And I'm going to explain that in a moment. Worth something. So by value, what I mean is it has to be something which actually solves maybe a problem that your potential client, customer, prospect, whatever, already has, okay? And so the idea of a lead magnet is that if here is our final solution, the final offering that we can give them, which will solve all their problems, it's like one step behind that, right? And I'll give you an example of this in a moment. And so the idea is, actually, let me just put it the other way around. So our lead magnet leads into the actual thing that we can, our main offering. And when I mean it has to be worth something, I mean something that the actual lead can quantify. So many times we build a lead magnet, we say, oh, it's worth $100 and you're getting it for free. But the lead, when they look at it, they don't believe it's worth $100 or whatever it's going to be. So it needs to be very easy to quantify in the lead's eyes that they're getting something of value that they would actually pay money for, and they're getting this for free. That's what a lead magnet is. And if you don't have that in your lead magnet, then the lead magnet is not going to work. And so that's basically what a lead magnet is, right? You offer it a step behind whatever you're going to sell. And a good example of this is ListKit. So ListKit is similar to like ZoomInfo, Apollo. They're a data company. They give you like lead data and things like that. They launched a few months ago. I think it's Daniel Fazio that runs that company. And yeah, so they launched, I think they're currently doing like over $1 million annual recurring revenue. They hit that within the first 90 days. The reason why is because they had such a strong lead magnet, which made a lot of sense. So they're a data company. They sell leads of B2B companies. What they did is that they sent 10,000 cold emails a day. And within those emails, they said, we want to give you a list of 50 free leads. Like, do you want that? Yes or no? And the reason why that worked so well is because it was worth something. You could easily quantify the value of that, right? You have their pricing on their page. Like, everyone knows really what that's worth. And so it's easy for the lead to quantify what that was. And secondly, it was very valuable as well. A lot of issues people have is like not enough leads in their business, and where to find the good data and all these different things. So there was a lot of value within that itself. And then the next logical step for the person receiving 50 leads would be to then buy more leads, to then get more results and whatever it's going to be, because 50 leads probably isn't going to be enough. And so the next logical step for them to take is, if they enjoyed those 50 leads, which are really good and really high quality data and everything, that then they'll then buy more. So they're the next logical step in the process, right? Then the next step. So that's everything about lead magnets, right? Now, lead magnets, typically what you'll do is you'll target like this stage of the pyramid and this stage of the pyramid as well, and try and move them along the top to get them to the 3%. So now that I've explained what a lead magnet is, and sorry if I waffled on about that, I want to talk you through something that I call an engagement magnet. Actually, I'm going to change that color to blue. Engagement magnet. So we have a lead magnet, which is great, but then what is an engagement magnet? And this isn't something that I've seen people really talk about within like the marketing world that much, but it's something that I've adopted myself. And for me, it about 5x my business this year. It did, numbers this year. It's crazy. And not only me, but I know a lot of other companies that have adopted this mindset, and they're seeing some incredible results. And I'll probably put some screenshots up somewhere in this video at some point to show you, but it works really, really well. So what is an engagement magnet? So firstly, people buy from people, okay? People buy from people. Very, very important to understand that. And the issue I see a lot nowadays within just the marketing world and B2B world, service-based world, whatever it's going to be, people are very, very transactional. You'll see it all the time. It's like, I do this. Are you interested? Yes or no? And it's like, yes, no. That's it. But the issue is that people don't take time to actually build a relationship up. Now, to give you some context to this and some just real life like stories about how actually connecting with people on a personal level can actually blow up your business, is about a couple of years ago I joined a business group called GCC. For myself, it's been incredibly profitable, and the reason for that is because I've connected with so many people on a human level, right? You connect with people on a human level, you have a conversation with them, and naturally off the back of that, there's money to be made, right? There's money to be made off those things. Because what you can do, you can talk to people, they're having problems in their business, and depending on where you're positioned in terms of your service, you could probably help them with that, which means that you can sign clients. And so leading with a people-first mentality really works. And not only that, I have some really good friends that I've had throughout this, like these business groups and all these different things. A lot of them are like my best friends now, and we do a lot of things together in terms of like business and everything. And a lot of the guys that have blown up in the last couple of years since joining like these business groups, they really, really, really found a lot of value and made a ton of money from people that they knew, from building their network up, from actually just talking to people, having normal people on people like communication. And what I mean by that is it's not a sales call. You don't jump on a call with someone, connect with someone, and just start selling straight away. As I said before, people hate being sold to, and people only buy from people that they have trust and they see as an authority figure. If you jump on a call with someone and straight away sell to them and without any trust and authority, then you won't close the sale. So it doesn't work. And so what an engagement magnet is something that we could offer to someone to just connect with them, to engage with them. We don't sell, okay? No selling. Oh, only red. No selling, okay? You just connect with people. You just talk to people, right? So no selling, okay? No selling at all within what we're doing. We just connect with people on a human level, having a conversation. Now, the beauty of this, as I mentioned, is that earlier I said that all your competitors, they target the 3% of the market, the very top. And they leave so much on the table when it comes to the actual market itself. 60% aren't even problem aware or solution aware. And so if you connect with people and you just start having conversations with your ideal customer profile, you will find and you'll be able to lead them along this journey, which is the beauty of what we're doing here. So just to bring it back to what an engagement magnet is, it's a request of engagement, right? That's all it is. It's saying, look, I love what you're doing at your company. I would love to just jump on a call with you and talk. That's it. That's really all there is to it. Now, when it comes down to the offer you put in the email itself, again, it can't be salesy or anything like that. It's a genuine connection of wanting to connect with them. It has to be genuine, right? You can't do this with like an underhand tactic of if I can just jump on calls with people, then I can just sell them like straight away when I jump on the call with them. I'll lie to get them on a call or whatever it's going to be. No, you need to be genuinely curious about just business in general, to speak with people, to connect with people, and things like that. I remember at the very start of my business journey as well, I'm very much introverted. I don't really like, going out there and being in groups of people or whatever it's going to be. And so connecting with people, like, it wasn't really something that I was into, or like posting on like LinkedIn or whatever it's going to be. I really didn't want to do any of those things. And so for the first year of the business, like, I didn't do any of those things really. All I was doing was trying to hammer and get sales calls from the 3%, and that's it. And that didn't really work, right? And then I switched my approach and now it's working. And so in terms of what an engagement magnet could look like for you, again, this depends, okay? It really does depend on who you're targeting, okay? Your ideal customer profile. If you're targeting CEOs of huge companies, then that's going to be very difficult, right? Overall, to get in some time with them. And the only way you're going to do that is if you start building some trust and authority by starting to talk with maybe people slightly lower down than that. And then naturally you can work your way up, as you can say, I've jumped on a call with this person and this person. These are CEOs of this company, this company. I'd love to talk to you about, this topic here that I spoke to them about. Like, are you open to that? They're like, yeah, sure, like, I'm open to it. And so you can be very clever with the way you do your cold outbound. If you lead with a people's first approach, it works really, really well. And just to wrap things up as well, because I know this has gone on for a little bit of time, but to wrap things up, when it comes down to going with this approach and revisiting what I said at the beginning of the call, people hate being sold to, and people only buy from people they trust and have authority of some nature. Now, because you've connected with people and you've spoken to them, you've built rapport, you've built a relationship, it's so easy to actually sell them in the end when there's a clear problem for you to solve. Because if you speak to someone, you've built some rapport and you've learned about them, you've done your discovery, and then you realize that they have a problem that you can actually help, right? And you can actually fix this problem for them. You'll be doing them a disservice as essentially a friend of they're basically like a friend, right? You'll be doing them a disservice by not actually helping them solve that problem. So what it comes down to is, when it comes down to the selling, there is no selling really. It's so easy. It's just like, oh, you have that problem. Oh, well, that's actually fine, because I've actually helped some people do this before and like fix that problem. If you're open to it, I can have a conversation with you and we can discuss it a little bit more. Like, I'll be happy to talk you through like what I do. They'll say yes to that. And so when you're leading with, firstly, the people's first mentality of sales, okay, you're not thinking of transactional. You actually target a majority of the market, like as much of the market as possible, not just the very 3% where all your competitors are anyway. And you build genuine relationships and connections and rapport with people and all those different things, then you will this is going to be your business here. Okay, this is time, this is money, and you're going to see this, right? Like, that's just the way it's going to be. And it just works really, really well. So I hope I've made sense there and I've not just waffled on a little bit, and that you just understand what I'm trying to get across here when it comes down to this side of things, you know, where you're just being genuinely curious and connecting with people who is your ideal customer profile, learning about them, seeing if you can actually solve their problem. And then if you can solve their problem, you've already built rapport, so then you don't really have to sell to them, because you can just say, oh, I've got this solution to this problem that you have, and then you guide them all the way to the conversion point here. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, you can drop me a message on LinkedIn, and I'll try to get back to you on that. I will try and drop some other videos. There's a couple other things I want to talk about, like demand generation and demand capture offers and things like that, and just some things that I see people making mistakes with, or actually, to be honest with you, things that I've made a lot of mistakes with myself, and then when I fixed it, it's just kind of, you know, skyrocketed, like the business or clients' businesses or whatever it's going to be. And so I'd love to talk you through like the lessons I've learned myself when it comes down to that side of things, because client acquisition is one of those things which will definitely break your business if you don't have it. If you have a lack of clients, you have no business. And that's something that I struggled with for a very, very long time, because I was very transactional in the way I was trying to do things. And so I hope this makes sense. I hope you found value. Connect with me on LinkedIn if you'd like. And yeah, see you later.